Dear graduates, dear new students, dear Dean Larsen, dear Professor Günther, dear Professor Jungmann, dear Professor Bisping, dear staff. Welcome to the graduation and welcome ceremony of our master program, Law and Business. Welcome to one of the highlights of our law school. This year, we are not only celebrating in presence, but a few participants are also connected electronically. As a positive consequence of the pandemic, we can meet all over the world without traveling. Thus, in particular, dear parents, dear friends, you are able to attend this event via electronic means. Despite the geographical distance, please feel very welcomed in our midst. Ladies and gentlemen, This ceremony is different compared to previous events. Not only are we saying goodbye to and celebrating the graduates of the class of 2021, we are not only welcoming the new class of 2022, but the leadership of the MLB program is also being handed over from Professor Cliff Larsen to Professor Christopher Bisping. The master loan business belongs to our key programs. We are proud to offer an international degree program which combats provincialism, which widens our horizon, which provides insights into other legal and, in your case, business cultures. The program enables communication and understanding. It establishes a worldwide network, and it meets the challenges of today's interconnectedness. We are proud in offering the interdisciplinary master law in business in cooperation with the WHU Fallendar Otto Beisheim School of Management. This cooperation is going extremely well, and we are looking forward to the years ahead. Dear graduates of today, you started a year ago and you had many questions. How is this law school, and will the program really meet my expectations? What will it be like to do an interdisciplinary master? Who are my fellow students? Today, all questions are answered, and you can look back on a successful year of studies, on challenging internships, friendships, and social events. Congratulations on the master's degree that you have obtained at Bucerius Law School. I wish you a successful career as a lawyer, businesswoman, or businessman, startup entrepreneur, or researcher. Please stay connected with us, since you, from the moment you entered our institution, from that moment you became part of our Bucerius Law School family. And as you know, family ties are binding. You, as MLB graduates, are now our ambassadors who inform others about our program. We will function as your network coordinator, and social media will be of assistance. Dear new students of 2022, 42 students have been admitted to your class. You have opted for a master's degree to strengthen your academic qualifications. I assume that at this moment you have the same questions as last year the graduates of today. We hope that within a year from now, you will say that this was one of the best decisions in your life. For you, challenging, inspiring, and demanding period of studies lies ahead. From our side, we are committed to making this a success, so that next year, same time, same place, only that you are sitting on that side, we shall proudly celebrate your graduation from Bucerius Law School. Feel welcomed on our campus. Ask the graduates about their experiences and views. Make use of all the opportunities that this law school, this city, and this country are providing. Become part of our community, where courage, responsibility, and excellence belong to our key values. Make the most of it. And remember, life is about self-development, experiencing and achieving happiness. Life is not a having and a getting. It's being and becoming. As announced in the beginning, this is the last MLB cohort to successfully graduate under the deanship of Professor Larsen. The new students will be guided by Professor Christopher Bisping as a successor to Professor Larsen. And this is the right moment to celebrate 15 years of deanship and to say thank you to Cliff Larsen for building and developing the program. Dear Cliff, in 2006, you welcomed the first MLB class to campus. 15 classes with a total of 618 graduates from all over the world. Almost 100 different countries from almost 100 different countries have completed their master's degree under your deanship. The photos of each cohort in front of our library attest to their success. Only happy faces. You were responsible for several accreditations. The last one was in 2019. The program is now accredited until 2027. As part of the institutional accreditation of Bucerius Law School in 2018, we received 2 requirements, which we met on time and in full. On the 50% teaching quota that full-time professors at our institution are required to meet, you encouraged and gave confidence to colleagues who did not yet have international teaching experience. In the case of the institutional cooperation with an economic institution, the good cooperation with you from earlier years was one of the reasons why we were able to agree so quickly on a new academic partnership agreement with the Fallender School of Management. You traveled a lot and were dedicated in promoting participation in our MLB. You had a lot of success with your appearance in law firms and companies. Every single potential candidate was carefully informed, and many were carried away by your enthusiasm. The graduates and students present here can attest to that. After graduation, you kept in touch with everyone, and you were regularly able to proudly report on the professional successes of the graduates. You showed a personal interest in each student. You cared about your students, always lending a sympathetic ear and good advice. Students appreciate that, and word gets around. The personal attention from you and the whole team is one of the USPs of our MLB. Not only the students were intensively cared for by you, but you also spoke in detail with every single lecturer. This is important because many come from other institutions and, of course, from other disciplines. To reconcile all this, to maintain an overview, to facilitate coordination and avoid overlaps, and to supervise and accompany a heterogeneous group of students and lecturers requires hard work and a great sense of responsibility. Thank you for all this. You will continue to teach the next year's students, and you will continue to stay at Bucerius Law School for a considerable period to do research in the fields that you are interested in, Anglo-American law and comparative law. Our big thank you should, of course, be accompanied by presents, and I shall present you with our gifts after the graduation of the class of 2021. Then I take the floor again together with Benedikt Landgrebe. And before we start this part, I would like to stress that the MLB is also the success of a fantastic team. Thank you, Karsten, Christina, Magdalena, Jenny, Maite, Inga, and Peter. Thank you for taking care of this wonderful program. Thank you very much, and a big applause for Cliff Larsen. And now it's my pleasure to announce the speech of the President of the Alumni Association, Ruben Reher.
Dear class of 2021, Today is a special day. It's your graduation, in case you haven't noticed yet. Your tremendous efforts over the past year have been rewarded with a degree from Germany's leading law school. That's quite an achievement, and most certainly something worth congratulating. 1 year ago, we celebrated your matriculation, already under special circumstances. And your year with us has been unique. Like previous classes, you worked hard to earn your degree, but presumably you spent much more time working remotely from home than you had anticipated. Despite the challenges of a pandemic raging across the globe, I hope you found the time to explore the city, discover Hamburg. Did you know we have more bridges than Venice? And I hope you made friendships that will outlast your physical presence on our campus. Whatever the future may hold for you, I hope you stay in touch amongst each other, but also with us, your university. And a great tool for staying in touch, and this is where the advertising starts, is our Bucerius Alumni Association, on whose behalf I speak today. We are a vibrant community of alumni and represent the vast majority of this university's graduates. We provide ample opportunities to stay in touch and connect through a wide variety of professional and social events, like our annual career fair on the 29th of September, which you might have heard about. And we also do host an annual black tie dinner, which is scheduled for the 6th of November, and I highly recommend it. After this ceremony, I'll be happy and ready to answer all your questions. So please don't hesitate to approach me or Stefan Zündorf, who's already waiting downstairs. And I hope you enjoyed your time at Bucerius, and I wish you all the best for all your future endeavors. Good luck and goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Clifford Larson, the founding and for the next hour or so still Dean of the Master of Law and Business program. It's my pleasure this evening to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Axel Möller of Namibia. I have known him for some 14 years now, as he arrived here in Hamburg in August of 2007. He is a 2008 graduate of the Master of Law and Business program. Dr. Möller came to the Master of Law and Business program very well qualified indeed. He had received his bachelor in economics along with a minor in law, how appropriate, from the University of Cape Town. During his year in the MLB program, he was MLB student representative and a member of the Bucerius Senate. Because of those activities, I got to know him well. Axel, you probably remember we had long discussions in my office concerning such topics as the best manner to teach business in the Master of Law and Business program. After his graduation here, he became a doctoral candidate at Bucerius, one of the very first candidates who had not majored in law as a first degree to do so. He received, as Dr. Yor, a PhD in law in Anglo-Saxon terms, magna cum laude in 2014. From 2015 to 2020, he was a Max Planck Research Fellow and college lecturer at St. Catherine's College at the University of Oxford. He's currently a member of the Senior Common Room at St. Catherine's, as well as project leader and principal investigator of a major research project known as Identifying the Mathematical Gene of Jurisprudence, the Law of Mathematics and the Law. This project, which has received some 150,000 euros in funding from the Andrea von Braun Foundation in Munich, investigates the degree of algorithmization and axiomatization of jurisprudence. Its aim is to derive an axiomatic model that can be applied to facilitate digitalized legal case solving. That is indeed an appropriate topic for a Master of Law and Business program alumnus. Dr. Möller is not only a theoretician, however. In the course of his career, he's worked at the M&A department of Sal Oppenheim in Frankfurt, at Germany One Acquisition Limited, a London-based special purpose acquisition company, and in the legal department at Flightright in Berlin. In addition, Dr. Müller has over the years participated in many volunteer activities. Most recently, he became a member of the board of the directors of the Johanniter Hilfsgemeinschaft, an organization founded here in Hamburg in 1948 that now offers a wide range of services to people in need, whether due to financial, physical, or other difficulties. His parents are watching, from what I understand, from Namibia this ceremony today, and I send my greetings to them and thank them for entrusting us not only with their son Axel, but also with their daughter Katrin, a member of this evening's graduating class of 2021. It is my pleasure to welcome back to this podium Dr. Axel Müller, Master of Law and Business class of 2008. Axel, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Professor Larsen, for these very kind and positive words that make me almost shine as bright as the sun above Hamburg today. But we shall see just a bit later that, I'm still faced with a big learning curve, and it is bound to be somewhat bumpy as I go forward. But let's get started properly by greeting all excellencies. Very warm greetings to you, Professor Bode-Wölki, Mr. Landgrave, all professors, the entire MLB team, both outgoing and incoming MLB classes, and of course, dear all. It truly fills me with pleasure and pride to be standing here again today, 13 years after my MLB graduation back in 2008. And although 13 years feel like half a lifetime, we can hopefully all agree that I haven't just yet reached the appearance of a wise elderly man, because my hair is not gray enough. I wish I could omit that word, but also my passport will thankfully confirm that on the ladder of aging, I've only reached step number 37. So we can secondly and hopefully agree that I should not and I will not lecture you today on the great wisdoms of life or of one's career, because I'm well aware that I'm all but in the midst of it all. And going forward, I'm bound to encounter bumpy patches. But let's finally also agree that I won't just extend my heartfelt congratulations to the outgoing class whilst wishing the incoming class the best of luck. Because essentially I have two messages or points that I want to bring across in my speech today. The first is the benefit, the stimulus, the charm, the fascination, the joy, and the beauty of interdisciplinarity. I know it's not a very sexy word, but I could throw every positive connotation at this approach, which, as you all know, stretches an idea or a topic from sort of beyond the borders of one discipline by looking at it through the eyes or the lens of yet at least another discipline. Interdisciplinarity can possibly be seen as the key ingredient of this wonderful MLB program, because not only does it challenge its students with two very powerful disciplines, namely law and business, but it also brings together students from a whole range of disciplines. I claim that interdisciplinarity will allow you to build proper bridges between these various disciplines, but more so, it allows one to abstract ideas from one area to another. If you think about it, this abstraction of ideas is what makes great art, music, literature, poetry so compelling. The great German-American philosopher Rudolf Carnap wrote that if one is interested in the relations between fields which, according to customary academic divisions, belong to different departments, then he will not be welcomed as a builder of bridges, as he might have expected, but will rather be regarded by both sides as an outsider and troublesome intruder. The only advice I can pass on to you is to be such a troublesome intruder and to absorb and cherish this interdisciplinary experience that you have had and that you are about to enter into. because it will throw at you all the positivity that I mentioned earlier. Interdisciplinarity has lifted me into professional spheres that I had never dreamt of before. So much so, and we've heard it from Professor Larsen, that I recently teamed up with a mathematician and a computer scientist at Oxford in an attempt to decipher what we call the mathematical gene of jurisprudence. This legal mathematical project, as Carnap would put it, builds a bridge between two disciplines which, traditionally at least, were at opposite ends of one another on the research spectrum. Now, if I say that we want to decipher this mathematical gene, by implication, I claim that there is such a thing as a mathematical gene. And that, of course, is the crucial question that might bring this very fancy-sounding project to an ultimate downfall. But my journey thus far has been utterly fascinating, because what we are fundamentally trying to establish is how legal causation can be axiomatized, in other words, explained by way of mathematical laws as the interplay between legal fact and legal effect. Now, this may sound very extraterrestrial, but what we are fundamentally trying to achieve is to turn this model into a practically applicable model that will be run by self-learning algorithms and thus be applicable to certain areas of the law. And interestingly, it has recently even caught the attention of BAE Systems, a multinational information security and defense technology corporation. We might still fail overall, but as I mentioned before, but if you had asked me at the time of my graduation whether I would end up in such interdisciplinary and professional spheres as I did, my answer back then would certainly have been absolutely not. And that brings me to my second message, which somehow relates to my pathway of academic learning and growth, a great deal of which I did on the grounds of this campus, and based on which I was subsequently able to go out and venture into these professional spheres which I had previously thought impossible or unimaginable. All this has been a pathway of learning and subsequently of earning at a privileged level if compared to standards in my home country, Namibia. But beyond that, I picked up this motto from my girlfriend's father, who, through a conversation that I had with him, convinced me of a principle which had been instilled within me before, but which I had never heard of in such beautiful summary as this. Initially you learn, then you earn, and ultimately you return. Or put even more concisely, you learn to earn and to return. I have adopted this principle in an aim to plow back my skills, knowledge, and other means to the benefit of my home country, Namibia, in the very first place. Because there are numerous personal and other reasons to do so. But I also carry in me a great chunk of gratitude for the opportunities and chances that I was able to grab as a result of graduating from this great law school, which, by the way, I did on a partial scholarship. I've learned greatly and subsequently earned from the seeds planted by this law school. And since I also want to practice what I preach, I have decided as a small token of return to pledge €300 per year for the next 5 years to be put towards either an MLB book scholarship or a Best Thesis Award or a class medal or any other form of recognition that the MLB team might deem appropriate in a fashion to honor hard work, dedication, and commitment. I certainly don't want this award to carry my name, but maybe something along the lines of the MLB Alumni Class Medal, Best Thesis Award, or Book Scholarship might resonate with the MLB team. And this brings me to my concluding remarks. First, to you, the graduating and outgoing class, may you all fare well. Rock the world out there and wing those chances and opportunities that will come your way as you move on from here. To the incoming class, I want to say, buckle up for the challenges ahead of you, enjoy the great new friendships that you will endeavor, and cherish every moment of this fast-flying year ahead of you. Finally, I want to extend all my best wishes to you, Professor Bisping, for your new journey as incoming MLB Dean. And last but not least, my very best wishes to you, Professor Larsen. You have been a rock-solid pillar of this MLB program since its earliest hours, and you've contributed substantially to the crucially important global footprint of this law school. Cool your engines for the time being, and may you be blessed with abundant energy and time to be enjoyed with your wonderful family. That's it. Thank you very much for your attention.
I don't know quite how to follow that up. We're very proud of him. Axel, I hope you can find this useful. It's a present from Bucerius to you. I think it will be appropriate both at Oxford and here in Hamburg. Thank you very much for your very thoughtful and very reflective words, and I look forward to staying in touch.
Thank you so much.
Alpha and Omega. Honored guest, and especially the class of 2021. As many of you know, Alpha and Omega are the first and last letters of the classical Greek alphabet. They are well known because of their usage far beyond Greece and the Western world. They have come to stand for the first and the last in many contexts. For example, in the Christian Bible, God or Jesus refers to himself as the first and the last. Similarly, in Islam, God is described in the Quran with 99 names, but 2 of those, as stated in the Al-Hadith Surah, include Al-Awwal, the first, and Al-Akhir, the last. In the German language, the expression Alpha and Omega has taken on the meaning of the essential, which really makes no sense because the last letter in the German alphabet is not O, but it makes perfect sense when one thinks of the classical Greek language and thus Alpha and Omega in their original meanings as the first and the last. There is another tradition, however, perhaps even older than this concept of referring to the first and the last, and it is to refer to the last and the first. For example, in Genesis, the first book of the Jewish Torah and the first book of the Christian Bible, the story of creation is told first as the creation of light and darkness, after which there was evening and morning the first day, thus reversing our usual view of first and last. In the Christian gospel, according to St. Matthew, Jesus picks up this dichotomy saying, "So the last shall be first, and the first last." And a somewhat similar concept is found in Taoism, where the yin and yang are a symbol of starting and ending and the repeated cycle of life and being. The Taoist writer Zhuangzi states, "Life is death, death is life," a thought later integrated into Chinese Buddhism that reverses the order as we usually know it. Omega and Alpha, the last and the first. This dichotomy is particularly appropriate for us this evening. Most obviously, it is appropriate for you, the class of 2021, for you're now spending your very last moments as Bucerius Master of Law and Business Program students before you begin your very first moments as MLB alumnae and alumni. Similar, you, the class of 2022, are spending your last moments as non-MLB students, as Dr. Müller has pointed out, and before you begin your first moments as members of the class officially of 2022. In the course of the next 12 months, as our president mentioned a moment ago, you will make both the shortest and the longest journey of your life, and they will be the same. The journey from where you sit on that side of the auditorium to the other side of the auditorium, perhaps 20 meters away. It will take you a full year to travel those 20 meters, and I wish you all the success that the 15 years of MLB students before you have had as well. There is one final way in which this evening represents Omega and Alpha, the last and the first. This ceremony, as you have heard, is the last event of my 15 years as founding dean of the Master of Law and Business program, and the first event of my successor, Dean Christopher Bisping. In just a few moments, I will be passing the baton of leadership to him. It is right and fitting at such a moment to thank the many people who have been involved in making this program the success that it is today. I start with the first group, those people and institutions connected with the program itself, including the Zeit Foundation, Abel and Gerd Bucerius, the Joachim Herz Foundation, anonymous donors whose contributions have been essential to making this program affordable for many students, the several Bucerius administrations that have been in office since the founding of the program, MLB program directors, faculty members here at Bucerius and our partner institution, the WHU, Otto Beisheim School of Management, the Master of Law and Business program team, whose reputation for exceptional student service before, during, and after the program has really become legendary. Friends of the program, internal professors and external professors and lecturers, people who have contributed in a wide variety of ways, such as providing housing as owed to our students while they are here, and all of the many others without whom we would not be sitting here this evening. Second, I thank my family. I begin with my own parents, Claire and Captain Charles Larson, although now long deceased. The unconditional love of my mother and the firm but gentle hand of my father have accompanied me throughout the past 15 years, and for that I am very grateful. In my family, we have an expression that one should choose one's parents carefully, and if one could indeed do that, I could say that I chose very wisely indeed. More specifically, I thank my own family. For my sons, Robin and Christian, the MLB program was a staple of our dinner time conversations when we were growing up. As they became young men and established in their own careers as a pilot and a young corporate innovation hub executive, I turned ever more frequently to them for their views on the MLB program, as with their increasing age and maturity, they could provide me with a better perspective on MLB matters that was similar to that of our own students. Finally, I thank my wife, Beate, who was always there. There were difficult times. For example, when two of our students perished on a flight from Europe to Brazil, where they had just announced their engagement. If you look closely at one of the large stones outside, you will see that we have erected a monument to them, for in the MLB program, we do not forget our own. There were many good times as well, such as tonight's ceremony, and in between there were the constant decisions that had to be made. During the difficult times, Beate was there to console, during the good times to celebrate, and during all the times in between to listen and to provide her wise and thoughtful counsel. I am indeed a very fortunate man to be married to the love of my life. Finally, last, but also first, I thank the students. This evening, you, the class of 2021, represent the hundreds of students who have come before you. Students and youth in general aren't always viewed very positively. The Greek philosopher Socrates complained that youth is, among other things, bad-tempered, lazy, disrespectful, and tyrannical. Perhaps that is why, some centuries later, the young man, later known as St. Augustine of the North African city of Hippo, prayed, "Please God, make me a better person, just not yet." George Bernard Shaw claimed that youth is the most beautiful thing in the world, and what a pity it is that it's wasted on the young. With all due respect, however, to the immortal Greek philosopher and the famous English playwright, that has not been my experience here in the Master of Law and Business program during the past 15 years. From you, the students, we have learned much. We have learned how young people from all over the world, from different economic and social backgrounds, speaking different languages, with various different religious faiths and of different races, can come together and become a community of scholars, a community of colleagues, and even a community of friends. Friends indeed. Class of 2022, please be aware that it is not unknown that MLB students leave this campus with a partner or a spouse from another person in the world, and that children sometimes come after that. So, you know what you're getting yourself into. You, the class of 2021, mastered the challenges of COVID not only conscientiously, but with grace. Because you could not socialize as much as the classes before you, there could have been very little cohesion in your year. The opposite was the case. You took the challenges of the year in stride and became one of the most tightly knit classes we have had. You taught us in other ways as well. In the Studium Generale, you taught us not only to present the positive aspects of your home countries, but also to speak openly about the challenges that they face. You showed courage, Mut in German, as the sculpture outside in front of our main building proclaims. You accepted the challenge of, and succeeding at, learning about subjects with which you were not only unfamiliar before the program began, but in many cases even feared a bit. And you were unlike the students of even 20 years ago, when I was teaching before I came here, who wished largely to work for only the largest corporations, which in many ways is a reasonable thing to do. But you showed, by contrast, more entrepreneurial spirit and a willingness to work for startup enterprises where your job descriptions are, shall we say, fluid. And you can do that because you have the confidence, gained at least to some extent in this program, to take on new and unknown challenges. I can truly say that you, Louis Bucerius, changed. You have certainly changed, but you have changed us as well, and for that, we are grateful. Omega and Alpha, the last and the first. You, the members of the class of 2021, will now spend your last moments as Bucerius students before beginning your first moments as Bucerius alumni, whether here in Hamburg or Berlin, in India or in Colombia, in Istanbul or in Addis Ababa, or elsewhere around the globe. As you progress in your careers and your personal lives, we look forward to keeping in touch with you. When you are far away, you can communicate with us with all the means that modern technology allows. And when you are nearby, remember to stop and see us, for you will always, last, first, and always be welcome here. Congratulations, good luck, and Godspeed.
Thank you very much, Cliff Larsen. What a wonderful speech, and I'm sure everyone will be missing your speeches, definitely your speeches and many more things, so thank you very much. Maybe we can book you, maybe. Okay, and that's not my role. I'm just here. We're proceeding now to awarding the degrees to the class of 2021, and I'll be reading out the names, and President Bulewilke and Dean Cliff Larsen will be handing over your degrees. So may I ask you to stand here and keep a distance, as we all should do still. And I'm starting to read out the names, and I hope I'm doing it in the right order. I think you've practiced. So we're starting with someone who unfortunately can't be here, but who's receiving her degree all the same, Omotara Adeniyi from Nigeria. Congratulations and greetings to Nigeria. So we're proceeding to Pablo Apel from Guatemala. Okay, well done. So you've watched how to do it. Don't forget to move it. Okay, we're moving on to Reseda Aza from Paraguay. Mona Badawi from Egypt. Bushra Bayram from Turkey. Vasundhara Bhatia from India. Marie Bourlot from France. Sumyadipta Chanda from India, sorry. Gilberto Luis Domingues da Silva from Brazil. Evelien Ederveen from the Netherlands. One gets so used to it. Julian Santiago Forero from Colombia. Thomas Gauweiler from Germany. Luis Holling from Mexico. Gabriela Jung from Brazil. Christopher Kerlin from Germany. Estefano Martinez from the United States. And there's the sister, Katrin Möller, from Namibia and Germany. Ellen Neshev from Germany. Bianca Neumeier from Germany. Axel Nikander from Peru. Orla O'Higgins from Ireland. Rafael Ortiz from Peru. Gözde Özsoy from Turkey. Sirompon Promsampran from Thailand. Winfried Reimann from Germany. I think not here today, but hopefully watching, is Maria Romero von Fedak from Colombia and Germany. Congratulations. And the next is Michael Heinrich Schreiber from Mexico. And then there's Predrag Spasic from Serbia. Malvika Taneja from India. Luisa Teixeira from Brazil. Jennifer Thyssen-Betts from the United States. From Greece, Ioanna Triviai. From Turkey, Emre Üngör. From Ethiopia, Selam Abera Wolde Sadiq. And last in the line today is Jovana Sek from Serbia. Okay, my list. Are you taking over? Okay, I think some of you in the class have not quite finished the degrees, and I think Cliff is saying a few words to you.
Just a few. Thank you, Benedict. As all of you probably know by now, the Master of Law and Business program is intensive, including large amounts of classroom study, an internship, and the completion of a master's thesis. To complete all of these requirements in 12 months is an extremely difficult task, and for various good reasons, students sometimes complete those requirements after this graduation ceremony. We wish those members of this year's class who are still completing their requirements all the best in the days ahead, and we look forward to awarding them their diplomas in the near future. At this time, however, we would like to recognize those students and to come forward to receive a present from our president, Professor Katharina Bruder-Volke. So, has Ruth made, there you are, Ruth, would you please come forward? This is Ms. Ruth Deneke from Ethiopia. Congratulations, Ruth. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Kohei Muto from Japan. Mr. Ame Fatka from India. Ms. Agatha Roberts from Nigeria. Yeah. Folks. And Mr. Edgar Vasquez Martinez from Mexico. One of the pleasures that one has in leading the Master of Law and Business program academically is the opportunity to recognize the exceptional teaching that goes on in the program. Every year, the students rate the professors in a wide, can you imagine that? In a wide variety of categories, including organization, clarity of explanation, student involvement in the course, openness to the lectures to students' questions, and actually their ability to answer the questions as well. The usefulness of the course, that's important, and most tellingly, the willingness of students to recommend the course to other students. The students ranked all courses on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest possible score. In order for a professor or lecturer to be eligible for the Best Teacher Award in Law or the Best Teacher Award in Business, a minimum of 5 students must evaluate the course. The course that today's Law Faculty Prize winner taught received a score of 4.71 on a scale in which the score of 5.0 is a perfect result in all categories of student evaluation. The student comments about the course included the following: great involvement of the students, very thorough explanations, the many insights into different areas of the law, which were particularly interesting for a non-lawyer, appropriate in a Master of Law and Business program with students from different backgrounds, the interaction between the professor and the students, and of course, the contents of the material. Ladies and gentlemen, the Best Teacher Award Law 2021 is awarded to Professor Carsten Thorn for his teaching of the course Legal Issues of Supply and Distribution Chains. Carsten, are you here this evening? Okay.
We have to practice that.
We have to practice.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm flattered. Actually, I know also that part of that award is due to the fact that you received my grades after you evaluated the course. I'm well aware that my grading is very much German law school-like, and for you it might be hard to understand, but be assured that when you get back to your countries, most people know about the German law school grading system, and I experience the same when I get back to the United States, and they know about that. So actually, I know it's, to some extent, it's hard. But thank you very much for the experience to teach you, and I really, coming back to your speech, with regard to having students from many different backgrounds in my class, I learn a lot from you, and I even get some stimulation for my classes I give to the bachelor students, because it's very stimulating to have different points of view from mathematicians, from business students, and so on, and that's always a pleasure. Thank you for that opportunity.
Thank you. What my colleague, Professor Carsten Thorn, says is correct. The professors are very different in the program, not quite as diverse as the students, but still very, very different. And while that can be challenging for the student, we think that it adds the richness to the program, that we have people coming from the colleagues on the business side and also from the law side, from inside the law school, from outside the law school, and we hope that that has enriched the student's experience. There is also a Best Teacher Award in Business 2021 today. And the professor who won that award achieved in her course a score of 4.87 in a scale of 5.0. That result is not surprising when one considers that in 3 of the 5 evaluation categories, the professor explained the course contents in a way that was clear, understandable, and interesting. The professor involved the students actively in class, and the professor was open to students' questions and answered them accordingly. She received a perfect score in all of those 5 categories. Some of the student comments about this professor's course were as follows. The most worthwhile aspect of the course was seeing actual examples of social entrepreneurship and understanding that can be profitable. The course was excellent. The course was a totally new topic for me. I did not know what social entrepreneurship was, and now I have broadened my horizons. The course was extremely well planned and provided great insights, inspiring teamwork, and a very high level of engagement. Challenging students to think more and be practical which is an added advantage to theoretical perspective, was one of the major advantages of the course. It was interesting that the course involved real persons who are actually social entrepreneurs that could answer real-life challenging questions or concerns from the students. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present the Best Teacher Award Business this year to Professor Christina Günther for her course in social entrepreneurship.
Dear students, a big thank you to you because you made the class lively, and I'm very grateful for the time that we could spend together to learn with and from each other. And I wish you all the best for everything that lies ahead of you.
We do have one additional award to present in teaching, and that is the DAAD Prize 2021. In addition to recognizing the excellence of the faculty, the Master of Law and Business program recognizes student achievement. This evening, we award the prize sponsored by the German Academic Exchange Service, often referred to by its German initials, DAAD. The DAAD is a German national agency for the support of international academic cooperation, which very well fits into our philosophy here in the Master of Law and Business program. The DAAD offers programs and funding for students, faculty, researchers, and others in higher education, providing financial support to over 50,000 individuals per year. It also represents the German higher education system abroad, promotes Germany as an academic and research destination, and helps build ties between institutions around the world. The DAAD Prize is awarded annually to a non-German student, meaning non-German Master of Law and Business student who did not obtain his or her secondary school diploma from a German school, whether within or without Germany. Some of you know that there are German schools around the world who say offer the Abitur and other degrees, and those people are not eligible for this award. The prize, consisting of a certificate and a check for €1,000, that's nice, goes to a student who has excelled academically and shown a special commitment to societal or intercultural intellectual affairs. The DAAD Prize serves to underscore the importance of the study of foreign students here in Germany. The choice of the recipient of the DAAD Prize was difficult. Many students have distinguished themselves in various ways. Among those students who are eligible for the DAAD Prize, however, one student in particular embodied both academic excellence and the commitment to others or service to the community. The recipient of this year's DAAD Prize was, of course, very strong academically. But beyond that, the recipient had contributed many hours coaching the Bucerius team that competed in the most well-known international arbitration moot court competition worldwide, the Wies Moot Court competition in Vienna. At this competition, virtually all of the finest universities in the world are represented. Yet it was the first time that the Bucerius team won the competition. A coincidence? I think not. At this time, the MLB program awards the DAAD Prize 2021 to Ms. Jovana Zec from Serbia. Jovana, please come forward.
Thank you all. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so proud of this year's success, especially because this Master of Law and Business has been something truly exceptional to me, and I'm happy that this year was special and that we made it to the final of the Wies Moot and won the Wies Moot for the first time. So that's it from me. Thank you.
There's been a lot of talking, I will not talk anymore.
Well, my name is Pablo. I'm from the graduating group. I also am a musician, as you can see. I'm not a classical player. I'm neither a heavy metal player. So I hope you enjoy what I do. These are songs I've composed with my band from Guatemala, our own songs. I'm unfortunately not the main singer. So I will make an adaptation, right? Musical adaptation. It's too complicated, I'm sorry. Can you all hear me? One moment, sorry. songs, but I hope you enjoy them.
My assistants are still preparing, so I will wait for them. Yeah, first of all, thank you, Public Folklore, for that amazing music. It was really great, and I'm happy that I can speak and don't have to play music here after you. And also, thanks to all the speakers before me. It's a great honor to speak after you, and also a bit of pressure. Yeah, thanks a lot for all the warm words that you gave us and all the memorable ideas for our future. Yeah, and of course, also from my side, from our side as the MLB, a very warm welcome to all of you that are here today, to my amazing class, to next year's class, about whom I'm very happy to see you here today, and all the guests, all the professors from the program, and also some that haven't taught me the program, which I appreciate even more that you're here as well, for the MLB staff, and also very warm welcome to the rest of the university staff that is here today. And of course, family, friends, it's great that you made it here, and we are very happy that we can celebrate together with you today, and I think that is definitely not for granted in those times. And yeah, that makes us even more happy that we can celebrate in such a large group today in this amazing hall. This was a very special year for us, I think for every one of us, not only for the students, also for the staff, the professors. And I today want to talk about one point about all this, about one ingredient, one very important ingredient that made all this possible for us and for Bucerius, and that's courage. You have heard the term, I think, several times today already. Professor Larsen mentioned the artwork on campus. Some of you might have seen it when you came here. The rest can take a photo with it later on in the beautiful sunshine. And this artwork is just a three-letter German word, which has Mut, and that's the German word for courage. And it's also part of the law school spirit that Professor Bucerius mentioned in her speech, which is made up of courage, of community spirit, and of excellence. And now I ask myself, why is it courage that made it to the artwork and not community spirit, not excellence? And to get the true reason, of course, you have to ask Zeit Foundation, who donated this artwork. But I think I have a good explanation for it. I think courage is the most important of those three virtues, of those three components of the Bucerius spirit. And it's not the most important because community spirit or excellence are less important, but they cannot exist without courage, and they start with courage. And Maya Angelou, a poet and US civil rights activist, said that in a very encouraging quote, which says, "Courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently." And that's true for community, because the courage to take a step back and to respect the interests of others, that's what you need to build up a community spirit, and that's not always easy. And also, excellence requires a lot of courage to go beyond what you have learned, beyond what you know, and to start something new from which others can learn. And that's what makes up excellence. And that is also the core of the idea of courage in the Bucerius slogan of courage, community spirit, and excellence. It's the courage to change, it's the courage to venture new paths. And that can give you excellence, always with a great community. And that courage that is part of Bucerius Law School and that is part of all of us, I would say, has accompanied us throughout the last year in many, many ways, and I want to at least mention some of them. The first point is the courage to offer, but also the courage to attend such a program. Irrespective of the coronavirus, irrespective of the times being, it requires courage to participate in such a program. It is, as we already have heard in several speeches, it is a very interdisciplinary program, it's very international, and it's very practice-oriented. And for students, that means very stressful mainly, but it's also highly rewarding when you have made it here today. And as a student, you always have to expose yourself in this program to new environments, new professional environments, but also new cultural environments. And that requires courage to do that, to take that step. When you have thrown yourself into it once, then you have no way out, but to take that step, that requires a lot of courage. And also for the university, it requires a lot of courage to teach such a diverse group in one group. We had all our classes together. We were treated as one group. The same expectations were handed towards us. And although we are very, very different people from different cultural backgrounds, as you have heard today, but also from very different professional backgrounds. We had people with a background in law, in business, in economics, in political sciences, in history, in medicine, in pharmacy, and in physics. And that's quite a broad range for teaching all of them together in one class and for giving all of them something for their future life from which they can benefit in the future, although the pharmacists have studied with the lawyers law. And for both the students and the university, being ahead of the times and counterbalancing current trends also requires a lot of courage. And I think that's what this program does. And the main ingredient with which it does it is interdisciplinarity. And Axel, thanks for your amazing talk. I couldn't agree more. And I'm happy that I haven't chosen interdisciplinarity for my talk, which was also an option. I think it's a great component of the program, and I agree, it's very important. We need more interdisciplinary thinkers. We need more people that are educated in different disciplines. But I think not everyone would agree to that. Maybe a lot of people in this hall, because you are somehow linked to this amazing program and you share the ideas of it. But our world is getting more and more complex, and a lot of companies, a lot of institutions are answering to this complexity with specialization. They try to train specialists that only see their field, because they are of the opinion that the field is so complicated that you only can manage to work in that field when you are a specialist. Bucerius and the MLB, in contrast, react to this current trend in educating interdisciplinary thinkers that are able to build bridges, as you also said, Axel, between the disciplines, that are able to understand people from different disciplines, to translate between the disciplines. And that's a very important skill, and it's very courageous of Bucerius to educate people in that way, although they will be treated as the disturbers and troublemakers, as you said. But I think we need more of them. And thanks, Bucerius, for the courage to do that and to educate us in such an interdisciplinary way. That being said, first of all, I want to welcome the new class again. Thanks for your courage to follow us, to take that step, to throw yourself into this, and I wish you all the best for the coming year, and good luck with everything that will happen. I'm sure you will not regret it. Of course, we also want to thank Bucerius Law School for this, the president, Professor Boloverki, the university management, Mr. Weizmann, who's not here today, unfortunately, but Mr. Landgräber, of course, as well. You all support this program, and you all make it what it is. We also want to thank the Zeit Foundation, who makes this possible by founding and supporting the university. And of course, also WHU, who is a very important ingredient of making it interdisciplinary. Without you, it would not be as interdisciplinary as it is. We thank all of you for having the courage to try something new and to go new ways. We also want to thank the two amazing program directors, Professor Jungmann, Professor Günther. Thanks for your courage to cooperate, to be open-minded towards the respective other discipline, and to work as a great team. Of course, we also want to thank all the other professors that are here today, some of them are not, for being part of this great team and for accepting the interdisciplinarity and the complexity of this program. Last but not least, we of course also want to thank Professor Larsen for being the dean, for inventing and developing this program, for, as you have heard, 15 years in making it what it has been throughout the last years, and what it is today. For your close connection to the students, and for your courage to try new ways. And we wish you all the best for the future as you are stepping down today. Now, my amazing assistant will give you a little present so that hopefully you will remember us in the future as your last class, as the Omega, and maybe as the Alpha of something new. There are more presents to come, and if we open all of them now, I think I will exceed my time. Yeah, thank you. It was an honor to be taught by you, and it was an honor to be part of your program. And at this point, I also want to welcome our new dean, Professor Bisping. Thank you for being here today, and thanks for your courage to join such an exciting program and for being full of ideas for its future. I and we wish you all the best for your time here, and are happy to see what will happen. What I said so far refers to the program in general, to its complexity, its interdisciplinarity, and its position in the current world. But of course, it also requires courage to run such a program in a pandemic. we had hybrid teaching all the time with students from all over the world joining via Zoom and others sitting in class here. Then we had to switch to completely online. Then we had to switch back. We had a lot of international students who really had difficulties to get into the country last year, and probably it's the same this year. And all this has only been possible because of a great team. And we want to give say just thank you for the whole MLB team. You did an amazing job. You smoothly adapted to every new problem and every new change in rules and in structure and everything, and it was amazing. You did an amazing job. And first of all, thanks to Maite and Inga for bringing us here. Without you, I think there would have been many, many more that had to join via Zoom. Thanks to Peter, who's unfortunately not here today, for helping us to navigate through the waters of the German job market in very difficult times in which no employer wants to hire you because it's a risk. Thanks to Balin, who is he here today? Who's also not here today, unfortunately. He promised me, but he's not, unfortunately. Thanks for being a great motivator, for helping us to keep on to believing in ourselves, and you did an amazing job. I hope you can hear me. Also something that we said quite often last year. I hope you can hear me. Thanks to the Alumni Association. Ruben is here today. I think Stefan is also here today. You also supported us in getting a better impression of the German job market and continuing your advertisement from the beginning. I hope that a lot of us will stay in contact with Bucerius through you. Thanks to Jenny for always taking care of us, for being the backstage help, and you did an amazing job. And last but not least, thanks, of course, to Magdalena. I hope I think everyone agrees when I say that without you as the soul of the MLB program, all this year would not be possible. And finding a new dean this year has already been a very difficult task, but finding a new Magdalena is impossible, I guess. I also want to thank my classmates for being part of these journeys in such difficult times and for your courage to come here, to come to this country, to leave your home country, and to end up in the next lockdown in your dormitory room and to participate via Zoom. It was a hard decision, but I think it was worth it. I hope it was worth it. And sorry for the winter in Hamburg. It requires a lot of courage for students to do this whole program from Mexico and Nigeria for all the time while everyone else is in Germany sitting in the lecture hall. And we have 3 students that haven't made it here through the whole year. 2 are here now. And they still finished this program, and that's amazing. And I'm so happy to see you here, Edgar and Luis, today. And Tara, I hope we will meet someday. Best wishes to Nigeria, and I hope you are connected to us today. And it also requires a lot of courage to grow together as a group, as a family, and to support everyone else in every situation, and never to put your own interest above that of the group. We had a very, very welcoming and supportive atmosphere towards those that arrived late. And that does not have to be the case. And it was amazing that you did that the new ones were part of the group immediately, and also those being in Mexico and Nigeria all the time were part of the group. We did great teamwork in every situation, except during the exams. But before the exams, in the group works, it was amazing teamwork, and everyone supported everyone. And we gave a lot of support to those that, due to whichever reasons, could not give 100% all the time. They were carried by the group, they were supported in many ways, and that is also something that requires a lot of courage to put yourself behind, to help others. and to understand that it doesn't make anything worse for you, it makes it better for you and for the others, and thank you for that. It was an honor to be your representative, and thank you, Maria, who's unfortunately not here today, my co-representative. She's pregnant and expecting her child quite soon, so she couldn't make it here, but thank you for being the best co-representative I could imagine, and I think we were a great team, and we were very different, but I think that was great, and we managed to work together very well. And last but not least, towards my classmates, it takes a lot of courage to do this program, to come here today, to take your degree, but it requires much, much more courage to come here today to celebrate this with us when you are not finished yet with your degree. I'm sure you will finish quite soon, and I'm sure it will be great, but to come here today and to celebrate with us and to come to the stage without receiving your deed for the degree, that's amazing, and that requires a lot of courage and an amazing group. Thank you all for this. And I hope, with all this courage that we have experienced in the beginning and throughout the year, I hope that we can make something out of it, that we can take it with us to the future. I wish for the university that you will take the courage that you have put into this program, that you will take it to the future for further successful changes of the program of the university, for further adapting to an ever-changing world. I hope that you as a university can continue the path that you have started, to follow the path that you have started, that you can continue promoting the qualities of this amazing program and this amazing university, but that you are still staying open to changes and new ideas, because it's always difficult to change a running system, and it requires courage, even if initially you started the system with courage, to adapt it to new environments. And I wish you a lot of luck with that, and I'm sure that we will manage that. And for all my fellow students, we came here from very different directions, different countries, different professions, and with many different ideas where to end up afterwards and what to do next. And still, we all found something in this program that helped us to get into those different directions. And I think that's amazing that you can have that, and that you can have it in one program, and that it works out in the end, and that people are now heading into different directions and doing that very successfully. And yeah, I wish you a lot of luck with that. Never get deterred in difficult times when people don't believe in your interdisciplinary and don't want you as a troublemaker. Always keep your heads up and trust in yourself, because I think that's what we learned here in this program. And for now, there is nothing more than to wish you all the best for whatever comes next for the future. And I hope that we will always keep in mind this law school spirit and the law school's virtues, the excellence in what we do, a community spirit within our MLB family, but also far beyond. And above all, the courage to continue our journey towards new horizons. Saying it with the words of the Nobel laureate William Faulkner, you cannot swim for new horizons until you have courage to lose sight of the shore. And that's what we're doing now. We will lose sight of this shore. We will find new horizons, and I hope we will meet there again. And I want to wish you good luck for the future. But to say what I really mean, I have to borrow from French. There are two translations for good luck, which only has one phrase in English. And Marie, please excuse my French now. There's bonne chance, to wish someone fortune. But that's not what I want to do. I want to wish you fortitude for what is coming next. And that's bon courage. So what I want to wish you today, even more than good luck, is good courage. Thank you. And before leading over to the class video, if the technology works, there might be a small surprise for you.
I can't see myself, so I hope you see me. Surprise. There was no way I was going to leave you today alone. As your MLB mom, I will always be there. So I promised that I would be there in person, but beautiful Corona, who has already made it difficult for us through the entire year, made it difficult for me today again. As you know, we're very near our due date, so I had to stay at home for risk reasons, but I'm here with you. Tara, you and I were together with them, but with our heart, sadly, a bit far away. Talking about family, which you know, because my belly shows it, is the most important thing for me, and apparently also for Bucerius, as Professor Bolovelki already said. I would like to thank all the parents and relatives who were able to come to Hamburg to accompany their children at this very important time. And also for those who couldn't come but are with us right now. This accomplishment isn't ours, it's an accomplishment also yours, as you were the constant support, and without family, it's almost impossible to do this. Before coming to Bucerius, I thought about family only from a blood perspective. So mother, dad, sister, and also the ones you choose as your husband, for example. But this year taught me that family is way more than that. Those bonds with other people can be out of this family and blood bonds. I honestly learned the true meaning of family. And now I am going to take some words from Lilo and Stitch. Ohana means family, and family means no one gets left behind or forgotten, which is what we managed to do this year. This year, having Edgar and Luis studying 90% of the program from Mexico, and Tara doing 100% of the program from Nigeria, we learned how to take care of each other, even without really knowing one another. In a difficult year like this one, where most of the time we had to spend alone at home because of Corona, our support in our innere Kraft came from those we least expected. Our classmates, who very quickly became part of our Ohana. Remember when we were not able to fly back to our countries to visit our families because we didn't know if we were going to be stranded there and never come back? If it weren't for the support and the love we gave to one another this year, we wouldn't have been able to make this, and it would have been a nightmare for most of us. For the new MLBs, listen carefully, let me just tell you that we're considered a boring class from past classes because there was little drama in our year. Yes, we did only manage to have one MLB baby and not 3 as last year. And Professor Jungmann only got 1 pair married. You managed to marry the pair that actually was right, Professor Jungmann. I'm sorry, Rese and Christopher, but this had to be said. But we managed to create a bond with all our classmates that apparently is not very common from the MLB class. So I would like to say how proud it makes me as your MLB mom. We managed against all odds to support each other and be there for each other in the most amazing and difficult times of our lives. In this year, not only did we have good times, but also some very difficult ones. None of us was able to make it this year without having to cry at least once, either because we lost a loved one or because our stress level was so high that anxiety took over, or because we had to endure the hardest winter in the last 10 years in Hamburg. Which also is a blessing, because we got to see Hamburg completely covered with snow, even though Pablo tried to convince us for several times that it didn't snow in Hamburg. And even then, something as simple as a hug of us made everything go away. I don't want to keep you much longer because, as you know, Winfried is the one who has the most words, which is why I would just finish telling you how proud I am of all of us to make it this far. And as Winfried said, let us keep on living life with courage and showing the world what we're made of. From my side, I feel absolutely blessed for our Ohana, and Martincito has the best 41 aunties and uncles a child could ever wish for. I love you so much, and I'm going to stop right now or I will cry.
I'd like to take just a moment to thank our two student representatives, Winfried and Maria. You can imagine that the dean of a program is often in contact with the student representatives because it is important for the program leadership to understand how to approach things, to integrate the students into the planning process, and we do that through contact with the student representatives. And I have to say, working with Winfried and Maria was a real pleasure this year, and I thank them both for that. I don't know what's in the present the students gave me, so I don't know if this is the most inappropriate present that will be presented this evening, but until we know what's in there, it's the most inappropriate present, at least for now. This is a Bucerius umbrella, which of course is totally useless here in Hamburg, but maybe one day if you move somewhere else, it'll come in handy. Maria, the same applies to you. We look forward to seeing you and family back here as soon as possible. Thank you so much for everything you did for the program this year. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you again. And now I will lead over to an amazing video that Shuma has prepared. Thank you. We're right there. Yeah. It's coming now. Thanks a lot for preparing it, and you will get an impression of who we are.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through, that I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. See you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
I see you again.
We've come a long way,
Yeah, we came a long way
from where we began.
You know we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Let me tell you.
When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong. And what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken. The love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach. So remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way. and every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
What a wonderful pictures, only happy faces. And you see, class 2022, you must get started with taking photographs of today and then the rest of the next year. Presents have been presented, and now it's the time that Benedict and I present our present to you, Cliff. So before you take the floor for the transfer of the MLB Deanship, the last official action, I would like to hand over, or we would like to hand over our present as a token of our gratitude and appreciation. And let's move it a little bit forward, Benedict, if we can. Yes, we can. Okay. Shall I first say something, or? Yeah, maybe. No, maybe, okay. So, 15 bottles of wine, 15 bottles of red wine, for 15 years of your deanship, or for 15 MLB classes from 2006 and until 2021. They come from 15 different countries, representing countries where students came from. And you can, as a wine lover and an expert, you can consume them within 15 years. 15 months, 15 weeks, or 15 days. It's up to you. Hopefully, you will enjoy. And in addition, you showed a lot of courage. It has been mentioned several times. 15 years ago, to build our MLB. You have succeeded, and our mood sculpture comes late, but from the bottom of our heart.
And Cliff, let me just add just a very few words. It was 15 years ago when Magdalena and I supported you in 2006 in setting up this wonderful program. We picked the name of the program, MLB. There were a lot of discussions about if we can actually pick that name for a degree. There were many decisions made. It was very exciting to have you here coming from the United States, setting up the program. We had a wonderful time setting up the program, and I would have never imagined that 15 years later, we sit here with having had so many wonderful students in the program. You've organized so many amazing classes, held speeches which have always impressed me. So thank you very much. And it was such a pleasure in walking into that wine shop of I Trust and saying, I have this idea, I need 15 bottles from 15 countries. And the man said, no, maybe 6 or 7. And he started counting. And he came up a few days later saying, yes, I have 15 countries. And today I found out every single country was once represented in this program. So you get the list and you drink a wine, you pick a wine, nice wines, and you think of the country and other countries which may not be represented. So you've given me many bottles of wine over the years. I hope you enjoy them. I hope they're good. Thank you very much, Cliff.
The only thing I can say to that is thank you is, Christopher, you might have to delay your beginning a little bit longer because maybe a few more bottles of wine will come to that. So, but thank you very much. Thank you, Katharina. Thank you, Benedict. Thank you to the law school. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time, and I just think back with great pleasure over everything done, all the courage shown by so many people in the program, connected to the program, friends of the program, and again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. I'd like to turn now to the very last act. I said a few moments ago that I would be passing the baton of leadership of the Master in Business, Small and Business program to my successor, Dean Christopher Bisping. The word baton is particularly appropriate, I find. Baton comes to us in English through, as in so many cases, from Latin through medieval French. The word can have many meanings. From the days of the Roman Empire, one of those meanings has been as a short rod that is a symbol of high office or power. There is another meaning of that term, baton, however, that I feel is particularly appropriate tonight. It is the reference to a short piece of wood or metal that is used in relay races, where a team of runners must pass the baton from one runner to another to continue the race. Failure to properly pass that baton can delay a team greatly. Dropping the baton means during the handoff, the runners means usually lose the race completely. It is with this meaning of the term baton in mind that I now ask my colleague and successor, Dean Christopher Bisping, to join me on stage. Dear Dean Bisping, dear Christopher, as the symbol of transfer of the deanship of the Master of Law and Business program from me to you, I would like now, as my last official act as dean, to present you with this baton. I am confident that it is appropriate, both as a symbol of authority and as a symbol, most important, of the smooth transition from me to you. The baton is in Bucerius red, and it is engraved as follows. Bucerius Master of Law and Business Program Deanship, C. Larson to C. Bisping, September 1, 2021, as that is your official start date tomorrow. In passing it to you, I wish you all the pleasure, all the joy, and all the fulfillment that I have experienced over the past 15 years. Good luck and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you all very much. I'm quite moved, not only by these words, but by all the other very kind words that I've heard this afternoon, and I think it's a great testament to the institution. So I've written down a few words, some of them are obsolete. I'm still recovering. I'm a particularly clumsy person, so the idea of passing the baton, our team would have lost probably, but I managed not to drop it, so that was a bigger obstacle for me. Dear Madam President, dear Dean Larson, dear Cliff, dear staff from Bucerius Law School, dear graduates, congratulations. And last but not least, dear class of 2022. It is my great pleasure and indeed my honor to welcome you, the new class, at the official beginning of your new master's program. Welcome to Germany, welcome to Hamburg, and welcome to Bucerius Law School. The early autumn, I know I'm being told I have to change and say the early fall, and one day I'll manage that trick. The early autumn or fall is always a time of new beginnings and a very exciting time. New beginnings in particular in academic years. Our children have either returned or begun schooling a couple of weeks ago only.
students return or come to new countries, to new universities, and academics move between jobs. So the latter is my position and describes my situation. I'm so new here, I haven't even started. So only tomorrow is my first day. And everything I say today can only give rise to pre-contractual liability, or, as I've already signed a contract, be read as an anticipatory breach of contract. So Dean and President now move uncomfortably in their chairs. What is he going to say? But not to worry, I'll be brief, and I'm sure we'll get out of it without any further problems. So let me welcome you. That's what I'm here for today. Welcome you, the new class, to the journey that we'll be embarking on together, because it will be our journey. And as we heard from the graduating class, you've been on an amazing journey and you've become one family. I'd be incredibly proud if next year, 1 year from today, we felt only half as glued together as you feel, as the image you've portrayed to us. So let us benefit from everything we bring to this university, the massive diversity and all the experiences that you represent. Your class, I've been looking at the figures, is split evenly between the sexes, which statistically is an overrepresentation of women. As across the globe, for every 100 women, there are about 102 men. Compared to law schools, however, women are underrepresented, because if we look at the US, 55%, the UK, 66%, Germany, 60% of law students today are female. So we can work on that. If we look at business education, it's slightly different, the picture, and I think especially at the MBA level. So if we say we are halfway between law and business education, I think we've hit the mark tremendously, and we are a very balanced group. Looking at nationalities, there are 21 different countries represented here. 22 if you include me. For the first time, we have students from Jamaica and from Afghanistan, I think neither of which can join us today, but hopefully will be able to join us in the next couple of weeks. Most continents are represented, as are a variety of backgrounds. There are students with a pure law background, with a more business background, but even from another variety of other backgrounds and experiences. So we all bring something to this institution, and we are a true melting pot of nationalities, disciplines, and ideas assembled here with a joint desire to widen our understanding of law and business and their interplay. I'm still considering the term interdisciplinarity. Should it be cross-disciplinarity, inter or intradisciplinarity? I think there's quite a bit of an academic debate about that, and maybe we can pick that up at some point. So we're all here to start on a new journey and are terribly excited about that. As this side of the room, the graduating class of 2021, is proud of their achievements, I would like to reassure you that you can be very proud of having made it here, because I know, although I haven't been involved myself, that you have all been very carefully selected from a great number of applications. Academic excellence is therefore a given, but the strength of this cohort, as that of previous cohorts, is what else you bring to this law school. You bring your engagement in social, cultural, or other aspects of life, your international background, your commercial expertise and sensitivity, or your cross-disciplinary approaches to problem solving. So be proud of the achievements you have had so far, that you have made it here, and look forward to what this year ahead will bring to all of us, whether that will be online, in person, or maybe even continuing hybrid. Whenever I come to Hamburg, I'm reminded of a motto by the local author Gorch Fock, and I'm reminded by it because it's in the logo of the Hamburger Abendblatt, one of the local papers. And the motto is, mit der Heimat im Herzen die Welt umfassen, which roughly translates as, embrace the world with your home in the heart. The German term Heimat is untranslatable, a bit like the Swedish-Danish Hygge idea, which we get if we shop in IKEA, but we don't quite know what it is. So the idea being, don't forget who you are and where you come from. Be proud of who you are and where you come from. Remember your background and bring it to the table. Be open to new ideas, to the background of others. And we all have to strive and do this together. Let us respect each other in all our differences and be stronger by the many things we bring to the table and to this university. As you will officially join Bucerius Law School in just a few minutes before me, I shall be turning to you for advice and guidance. I shall be asking you the way around campus, and I shall be asking you about the aspects of the program. You'll be the ones that I'll turn to, and of course to the fantastic team that has been with the program for many years. And I'm very grateful that Cliff has agreed to be there in the background and to help me whenever I need it. On the other hand, I'm here and I can offer you my advice and guidance in those aspects that I know a little bit about, and that's studying law and business, and that is also a little bit about Hamburg, where I used to live a couple of years ago. So together, we'll find our feet, and together, we'll become the class of 2022. I know that you're eager to enroll, so I need to come to an end. And I will do that by saying welcome again to the Masters of Law and Business class 2022. Let's do the new year together. Let's have fun. Let's be successful. Thank you very much.
All right, the class of 2022 has been very patient, and I think we quickly start enrolling so we can still enjoy the beautiful summer evening. So let's get started. You sign in the book. I call you, and I start with Jose Armida Escudero from Mexico. Mary Avevo from Ghana. Beste Bundur from Turkey. Carlos Canseco from Mexico. Ricardo Cisneros Gama from Mexico. And also from Mexico, Naomi Gabriela de Leon Murataya. Mete Demir from Turkey. Du Jiazi from China. Sümeyye Erdem from Turkey. Reza Gassemian from Iran and Germany. Jonathan Gürtler from Germany. Katarina Hashko from Belarus. Markus Heibach from Germany. Margarita Ilina from the Russian Federation. Elene Kakniashvili from Georgia. Mükremin Karagüle from Turkey. Yais Karakaya from Turkey. Niklas Krüger from Germany. Jagruti Kumar from India. Pritika Mehrotra from India. Yvette Ochieng from Kenya. Stephen Paygard from the United States. Eduardo Henrique Pires from Brazil. Ignacio Quesada from Chile. Quesada. Bas Reinen from the Netherlands. Belen Rodriguez from Paraguay. Ana Flavia Sales from Brazil. Ayça Saridouan from Turkey. Emily Seitz from Paraguay. Azelia Tanriverdi from Turkey. Carlos Eduardo Vega Sanchez from Colombia. Is Huyen Wu here? Yeah? No, she's not. No. Okay. So, welcome. You've successfully enrolled. Thank you very much. And I think we come to the end of this wonderful graduation ceremony. Thank you very much to everyone, to the team, to all the students who've contributed to Cliff Larsen and our incoming dean. We now invite you downstairs to a wonderful reception. It's a wonderful blue late summer evening in Hamburg. What a privilege. It hasn't been like that for quite a few weeks. So enjoy the evening. Thank you for being here and see you soon. Thank you. I think the class of 21 is coming in front for the throwing of the caps.